Okay, third video, we are going to take care of our north walls. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself from video 2 at all. I had some pretty major computer issues going on when I was doing my videos for this week's labs. So yeah, they were crashing. I lost a video. Not fun. So anyways, I think I'm back on track for this one, and we'll take care of our north walls, like I said, talk about the step down foundation on this back wall, just like we did on the west wall, the picture that I had shown you, and that will be in our lab folder. So you can take a look at it as well too. Again, it's a little confusing because it's obviously so much easier to describe and talk it out in person. But if you have any questions, I'm happy to do a Zoom meeting or, email communication, however, to help you understand what I'm trying to do back here with calculating out the foundation wall in a stepped foundation. So we know that our through walls came directly straight through this first wall on the north. And we also know that we've already calculated out this wall because we did it on the south walls, right? So if we go back and look at our south walls, let's see what number is it. Number 6, our number 6 wall, south wall, the 28.34 feet. We got that by taking the 30 feet and deducting 20 inches because we needed to deduct 10 inches over here and 10 inches that was actually coming up through wall, and then our butt walls need to again decrease that 30 feet by 20 inches. So our first wall for the north is going to read as 28.34 feet times the height, 8 feet, times the thickness of the wall, 0.84. And I get a total of 190.44 cubic square feet. This is my north wall here. All right. Now, let's get to the tricky one. Let me highlight this one. Let's get to the tricky one and do our 44 feet. How did I get 44 feet? I took this number and added them together because this extension line comes here. That through wall is not going to affect me, but this through wall will affect me, won't it? So I actually need to take the 44 feet and I need to deduct the 10 inches. So this is a quick sketch that I did in lab for our in-person section of estimating, and you can see that I have the 44 feet coming across. I have the sliding door, the 2 windows, totally not to scale, but you can see your sliding door comes down and it hits the bottom of your basement. So the bottom of the basement, so any area such as this where our siding comes all the way down, we need to be able to have a 4-foot foundation underneath it and then our footing below. You can also see that I'm actually extending that 4-foot section over to either of these sides, even though there's concrete coming up. So my pink line is in representation of grade. And then I have, the squiggly pink line in here, which is concrete above grade. This is concrete below grade, concrete above grade, okay? Because there will be some concrete showing when we have these different stepped foundation details when our site slopes. So please ignore this 2 feet because I did not deduct originally when I first started drawing this and doing the calculations in person. We forgot to deduct the 10 inches and then we went back and then did that. So this dimension should actually read 1.2, right? Because I'm saying if I come over 2 feet, this is part of my through wall, that 10 inches right here. So I just have to be mindful of that, and you have to be mindful of that because I'm posting this to our lab in our online class. Excuse me, getting tongue-tied there. But anyways, this ends up being 1 foot 2 inches. So with that said, we convert our 2 inches to decimal, and so we have 1.14 4 feet, and we're doing a full 8-foot wall here. So I just kind of sectioned these areas off so I could just get the exact, well, excuse me, not exact, close as possible calculation for my foundation walls. So I went 1.2 times 8 feet times the thickness, 0.84, and I got 7.86 cubic square feet. Then I went to the next section, which was 4 feet length. So each length right here is just stepping down the foundation to that rear grade where we can walk out of the basement. So 4 feet times 8 feet times 8 feet times 0.84 gives me 26.88. Sorry, I brought this pink line where my point is. Make sure you get that decimal point in there. Over here, same exact thing. 4 feet by 8 feet by the thickness, 0.84 equals 26.88 cubic square feet. 26.88 on either side of this walkout. Then I'm giving you this dimension right here of 34 feet. 34 feet times 4 feet, because that's what I'm including here for my frost wall underneath the walkout. So it's 34 feet times 4 feet times the thickness, 0.84 equals 114.24 cubic square feet. So once you add all of these numbers up together, you should get, let's add them up together and figure it out. So I'm getting 175.86. 175.86. And then the last wall, so if we go back to our plan, so that takes care of this, oops, not erase, that takes care of this whole wall right here. And when I say wall, don't forget, just because I'm showing 2 different walls here, this is a concrete wall on a footing. This is actually a framed wall, right? A 2x6 framed wall with siding on the exterior. And I could go to my rear elevation and I can actually see that, right? Please know this rear elevation does not match the calculations and the picture that I was showing you. Okay, we got a little bit more exact on there. When you're drawing things out like this, sometimes we just put grade for rendering only, final heights to be determined on site with owner and excavator, this should say actually, because the way the excavator creates this step down in the foundation is going to determine those steps in the foundation. Okay, so please understand my rear elevation does not match what I just showed you and what will be in our book. But underneath this wall there has to be a foundation. Okay, you can see it on the elevation or a cross section, but on the 2-dimensional plan sometimes it's a little bit harder to see. But please understand that this wall actually continues under this wall because that's where this is here. Okay, last wall is this wall right up here on the north. Now we have 2 through walls that actually come here that we've already gotten on our west and our east calculations. So we need to take that 17 feet and we're going to deduct 2 10 inches, right? So we're going to deduct 20 inches from 17 feet. And you will get 15.34 feet times the height, 8-foot walls, times the thickness, 0.84, and you should get 103.84 cubic square feet. Okay, so for you to complete this lab assignment, I would like you to download this worksheet, Lab 4, Concrete Lab Assignment, and fill out this information. Your foundation wall size for this area, I would like you to put 0.84 because that's the thickness. And for the first one, you could put 8 foot. And 4-foot walls, right? We're using 8-foot and 4-foot walls. You can underline those if you would like, so on and so forth, okay? Using decimals, right? Use your decimal point so I can see that you're doing it right, thickness and heights. So that's for the first one. The second part here, we've gone through in our videos, and I'm going to show you another document in a second. You're going to volume calculate it for foundation walls. You're going to take these 4 numbers, you're going to add them up, and you are going to do the divide by 27 to get cubic yards. I don't want cubic square feet here. These are cubic square feet, aren't they? This is all cubic square feet. I should have that written on here for you guys so it's clear, right? And this is cubic yards. That's where we convert and divide by 27, all these numbers. Your PSI is 3,500 PSI, same as the footing. Total quantity for cubic yards for foundation walls, this is the same number as this. Okay, so this is cubic yards, same as above. Yes, I doubled up. Same as above. Price per cubic yard placed is the $250 per cubic yard, materials and labor. You're going to get a cost right here. There's no steel rebar, but I do want you to add waterproofing the foundation walls for $1,000. I'm going to leave this alone in today's standard. I think I said this at the beginning of my lab videos. This definitely would be higher, but we're going to leave it as is for now. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this number that you come up with the 250. You're going to add $1,000 to it. And then I also want you to include your footings number from lab 3. 7,400, 7,500, whatever it was. I don't know off the top of my head. Look it up. That was from lab 3. So you're going to add those 3 numbers together and you should get a number that's right under $30,000. And that would be for our entire foundation package, which means that's 1 contract, oh, excuse me, 2 contractors because the waterproofing company comes in and does this. But anyways, it's part of the foundation schedule of in the building industry, and what you're coming up with, this under $30,000 number, is for your foundation contractor who will take care of your footings as well as your walls. So next week, oh, I also have, I told you I would show you this other sheet. So I did write down my calculations. Check them to yours. They might differ slightly, just human error, right? Addition. I might have, just be careful for your decimals. That's usually where I get caught up. I don't add my decimal in my calculator when I'm adding things, or I put a wrong number in, right? Easy human error to have, but please let me know if you see anything that differs from yours. I'm okay if the percentages, if the, after the decimal point, if these are slightly different, right? As long as it's not drastically different. And then I also gave you instructions on how to complete the worksheet that I just went over. All right, so it's pretty clear, I hope, how to be able to get this lab completed. Next week, we will finish up concrete. We're going to work on our calculations for concrete slabs in the basement and in the garage. And then we're going to jump over to our Excel sheet. A couple questions from students for the Excel sheet. Hopefully I have division 1 somewhere on a lecture. I haven't reviewed my current lectures to show that information, but we'll review it next week as well too. I just want to make sure that you have that Excel sheet downloaded and put your name on it. Do not leave Smith Residence at the top of that Excel sheet. I will start marking you off eventually if you continue to do that. Get your name on it, save as you, right? Your last name, however you want to put it, or if I've given you instructions on how to do that, please follow through with that. Okay, so hopefully all these numbers match up and you can get your lab completed. And I will talk to y'all next week. Thank you so much.